I'm Lauren with Pack Hacker, and in this video we're taking a detailed look at the Trakke Foulden Clamshell packing cubes, which I've been testing for the last 2 weeks. If you found this video helpful, hit subscribe so we can keep making you content to help you travel smarter. Let's dive in. In true Trakke fashion, these are made with some pretty durable materials. So we have their classic dry finish wax canvas. There's a DWR coating on this as well. So you just have really solid materials. We have YKK zippers as well, and they have this like AquaGuard style zipper as well. So we do have a couple of different things about these bags that make them a little bit, or packing cubes rather, that make them a little bit unique, which we'll get into in a second. But in terms of external features, there's not a ton going on these. So you can see that the actual zippered opening is very unique. So we'll get into how that packs, but we do have these two carry handles on either side here, which is the same for the small. This is the large size, the small size. There's no medium at the time of this review. I think this pretty much covers it. Anything in the middle would just kind of be a half step up. I didn't really feel like I was missing it. But you have these carry handles here, which are good for just grabbing it out of your bag. But you can also hang this when you get to your destination and just unzip this slightly and sort of use it as like a hanging bag. I didn't find myself leaning towards this very often. I think if I'm going to unpack my bags and hang things up, I'm probably just going to take my stuff out and hang it up versus like packing out of a cube. Also, the way that I have this layered, you'll see you can fit a ton of stuff in here. And so for me to get the most use out of this, I would either pack like my bulky jeans and a couple of tops, or I would pack, you know, a bunch of things. It kind of depended on what I needed and what I was carrying with me, because I had like different style events that I was going to. But with this here, like, you can't really quickly and easily grab everything and pack it back in. So overall, they're pretty simple on the outside. They feel really durable. The material breaks in really easily as well. They were a lot stiffer when I first picked them up, but now they are super flexible, and they actually stretch surprisingly well considering it's like a canvas material. It's just heavier. So, you know, with these packing cubes, they're not going to be as lightweight as like a ripstop nylon. So you're sacrificing weight a little bit for that extra durability. All right, let's take a look inside of each of the cubes. So I have this one full with all of the gear, and then I have this one empty. So we're gonna take a look at the empty one really quick. On the outside here, we have these Trakke zipper pulls. They just like the little loops. You'll see them on all of Trakke's stuff. Nice and easy to open. Overall, the materials are a little bit overkill, but if you really like this sort of sturdy feel to all of your gear, this is going to be a great option for you. So if you look at this, when it's unzipped, it's at 270-degree zip. We have almost like a shelf. You can kind of prop it up like this, which is kind of nice. So what you have is like a big bucket shape on this side, and then a big bucket shape on this side. And then it gets skinnier as you go down on either side. So it's like when you stack two triangles on top of each other and you like make them opposite and then they create a rectangle. That's what's happening here. So when you're actually packing this out, what I like to do was I started on like the actual bucket side and use that to determine the height that I wanted my gear to go to, and then I would kind of use that same level across the board here, because once you start packing on this side, you don't have any edges to guide you at all, really. You just kind of have to like imagine a vertical edge to be able to give you that kind of depth perception. And then once I actually started getting it more in there, then I would zip these up a little bit on either side, and then shove things more on top if I had the space to do so. So this is the small size, this is the large size. There's no medium at the time of this video, but I did find that these were pretty on par with the sizing that I needed. Anything in the middle would have been like a nice add, but I didn't really feel like I was missing it. And the material itself really broke in over the course of the 2 weeks. So when I first got them, they were really stiff. And then the more I packed them out, I went to a few different trips with these. So the more that I added in here, the more variety of gear that I put in here, the clothing rather, the more they started to kind of stretch and really accommodate what I had, which was really nice. You know, the material itself is heavier, so like a ripstop nylon is going to be a lot lighter and a lot easier, or it's not going to add a ton of weight to your bag. But with these, you're definitely getting that extra durability. So with that empty, this is what I was talking about, like when you hang it up, you can kind of use this as like a little dump pocket, which is kind of nice. So I didn't really find myself, like I say, doing that very much, but it is an option if you want it. So looking at the larger cube here, I can show you what I have inside. So unzipping it like this, you can see what I mean. If I peel back this layer, we sort of have like a lot of gear stacked up on the side with nothing holding it in. It does hold its shape once you actually open it up, like I did right now. Nothing like fell out, so that wasn't a huge issue for me. The biggest thing was figuring out how to pack this. It took a few different tries for me to really figure it out without stuff kind of going everywhere. So you can see nothing's really organized in here right now. Usually I have it a little bit neater in like rows and things like that. But even with this like hodgepodge of clothing all stacked up, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 shirts in here. And with my clothing, it's a little bit smaller too. I was packing some tank tops. I was able to fit probably the same amount in this one here. In this larger one, I put a lot of like either, you know, chunkier like hoodie type things or jeans even, and you can roll those up and just layer them and stack them. And then, you know, as you're packing things back in, get them right inside how you want them to be, and then zip right back up. So you can see I even have a little bit more space to work with. I like to do a little bit of a zip on either side to give me some structure, and then if I wanted to slide something on top, like I have a good amount of space to be able to do that. So you really do have flexibility with these to add a ton of gear. It's just for you whether or not the extra weight is going to be worth the added durable materials, and if you like that packing style. So there you have it, the Trakke Foulden Clamshell packing cubes. Thanks for keeping it here at Pack Hacker, your guide to smarter travel, and we'll see you in the next one.